The best way to ring in 2024 is with a new local bookstore. Today we are sitting down with Kara, the CEO of the Atlas Collective, a new local bookstore that features new used titles, also some plants, stationery, and a coffee shop. So come on, let's go.
I'm Kara Tagon. I'm the owner of the Atlas Collective down here in downtown Moline. The Atlas Collective is named first and foremost after my dog, Atlas, who, he's a special little guy. He came to my partner and I at a very interesting transition in our lives. We were moving from the Chicagoland area to the Quad Cities, and he was a troublemaker. He was given back 3 times at the shelter. Yeah, he had his little behaviors, but through time, Atlas kind of drew my partner and I closer together. He just became our glue. He united us in a way, and I just thought it was really fitting to have it here because the Atlas Collective it was born out of unity. I just want to bring people together in the community and create safe spaces and love, and I think kind of is all very full circle in that way, so yeah.
Inspired you to open a book and coffee shop in Moline?
I'll be honest with you, this is not what I thought I'd be doing at this time in my life, which is also so fun. I'm a cozy homebody by nature, and creating something like this, which we throw the term around third space pretty often in here, and that's truly what this is. It's just a place to be that isn't your house or your work. It's free space. So I wanted a space that was going to reflect me and what I love and what I want other people to just come and feel comfortable in, and that's kind of how this came to be. It is a store and it is a coffee shop, but you can also walk in here with your own book and your own snacks and sit down and be here as long as you want. So,
Which was the hardest part, creating the idea or creating the business plan?
So coming up with the idea actually surprisingly came very naturally once I sat in quiet with myself and looked inward, like, what are my core values? What do I want? Like, it started there, and I was like, I just want to help people, period. And every job I've ever had, I've been able to help people. I've had a wide range of jobs. And just sitting there and thinking inward, like, I want to help people, I want to create community, and I want to relax myself. I want something, like, I want whatever I build to reflect me, so I know it's the most genuine thing I'm putting out there. I want people to see all of me. I don't want to have to put a mask on for you at work. I just want this to be, I don't know, I just want it to be not hard. That's like the most lame way to put that, but it's true. So my mission statement and ideas stayed the same throughout. My business plan, that's a whole ball game. That's breaking down, like, where am I at, demographics, but like, it's everything. It's just chunked out. And I made a very rough one in January, and I sought help. I sat down with other business owners in the Quad Cities that I know personally, and they helped me chunk it out, and they picked it apart, and I took the criticism, and I felt great about that. And now, like, I don't need it for anything because I got it off the ground, but it's still a fantastic resource to, like, turn around and look at. When this is all said and done and my doors are open, I am going to go back and look at it and see how true I stayed to it. And I'm excited for that. I'm really excited to just look back on this whole year of disorganization, but also organization, and see how far I've come. So that's kind of cool.
What challenges have you faced so far in opening the shop? How have you overcome them?
We have had so many challenges, period. We've had so many challenges, but luckily our very small team of 3 are all we're innovative, and we like to pivot, and we're good at pivoting. We have our moment of like, ugh, but then we're quick on to the next thing because all of us are in this just to get it up and running and safe and special. So our challenges, like this building that we're in, people come through like down the sidewalk and kind of open the door and they're like, they know it's historic. It's been here for such a long time and it's been so many different things. And because it is so old, we've had to rewire the whole building. We've had plumbing from scratch to get all of our water lines back there appropriate, up to code as well. So we've cosmetically and structurally, we have gutted and started over. And it looks, I think it looks pretty nice, but we have had a lot of challenges building specific as far as like operations. It's kind of trucked along as we expected, so yeah.
How did you come up with your coffee and drink menu?
I'm gonna say everything was tough because everything was tough. We will absolutely serve classics like your Americanos, your cappuccinos, your drip, of course. We'll have everything that's classic, but what we're really excited about is our signature menu and our specialty drinks. Fun fact about those, they're named after pets, our personal pets. So personally, my favorite drink on the menu, big surprise, is called the Atlas. And it's a dirty chai with oat milk and a sprinkle of brown sugar. If I were to go for a fancy drink, it would be that. But I'm by nature a drip coffee person. I drink my coffee black, I get it in my system right away, and I move on. So I'm boring in that way. But as far as the rest of our menu, we'll have specialty drinks that range from coffee to tea to energy. So we're covering all of our bases, but these specialty drinks will have cool, unique embellishments from us, so that make them different from the rest of the Quad Cities.
Where does your bookstore buy books?
It's difficult. We signed up to buy from all of the major publishers. We did Macmillan, Simon & Schuster, Penguin Random House, Hachette. We signed up with everyone, but there's also Ingram, which is a really fantastic platform that libraries use, booksellers use, and that they're kind of a hub for a lot of different publishing groups, smaller ones too. They're just kind of it's a conglomerate of everybody. And their turnaround is pretty good and their selection is vast. So we ordered a lot from Ingram. HarperCollins we ordered from quite a bit as well. And then we have used books as well as new, and then sprinkled in our new section are like new titles that we got from Book Depot, which is a discount book supplier wholesale. And their content is vast as well, and their quality of books is outstanding, but we're gonna sell them still at a discounted price because we got them at one. So just makes sense for us to do it that way.
What kind of books can customers expect to find in your shop? How do you choose which titles to stock?
Well, that's tricky. We have a wide variety of books. We tried to cover most of our big genres, but a lot of the books on our shelves were handpicked by the three of us that work here, just things that we love, and we're all very different readers. So we handpicked. We went off what was trending, like with Book Talk and stuff. We did get a lot of those titles in here, as many as we could, because things move really fast these days. You got to grab them while they're popular. So we did that, and then we reached out to our community, which was the most important thing. So we listened to everyone's recommendations. We did a bunch of orders. I think I did like 8 simultaneously, just to make sure that we have content for everybody here, representation for all walks of life, all races. I'm a queer person, so there's a lot of LGBTQ plus books in this space of all kinds, romance, fiction. We have a sprinkling of graphic novels, so we really tried to cover our bases here. And we're gonna keep learning, and you guys are gonna keep telling us what we should have, and we are gonna listen.
If you don't have a book in stock, can you order it for the customer?
If you come into the Atlas Collective and you're looking for a specific title and it's not on our shelf, we will absolutely order that for you and get that in the building as soon as I can. I will find the quickest turnaround for it, but it's absolutely an option if you're looking for something specific.
Do you pre-order books?
Yes, we do that too. So we will be ordering, as far as what we order for pre-orders, I'm gonna use an example, a very popular example. Sarah J. Maas's Crescent City series, The House of Flame and Shadow, comes out January. I can't tell you the date, but I know it's in January. We've had that pre-ordered since, holy cow, it's December. August, I believe. So we will keep on top of that. And if people come up to us with a pre-order that we have not even thought of, absolutely. That is absolutely an option.
How do you plan to stay up to date with the latest book and drink trends?
So it's so funny to talk about, like, staying up to date now with books specifically. I've read articles lately of like people talking about book talk and books being like fast fashion now. Like people are pumping stuff out, and so the turnaround is insane. And keeping up, like I'm gonna be placing book orders weekly. That's it. Period. I have to, as well. Like, and that includes titles that are out, pre-orders. It's just keeping track of all of that. We manage our inventory by hand here because right now we have to. It just makes sense for us. We separate our new and used books, and we kind of track everything. We have different spreadsheets for pre-orders. We have back-ordered spreadsheets. We are very organized in that way. But keeping up with all of that, we're just going to fly by the seat of our pants and research our butts off because we have to. And luckily, social media is a tool there. They keep us fresh. We just have to be on top of it. But as far as coffee goes, in terms of keeping up with all of those trends, that one's kind of mind-boggling. We're gonna switch up our menus. Like we're gonna do seasonal stuff, and we'll do different drinks to support different businesses in the Quad Cities too. But keeping up with trends, I'm gonna put that on my coffee guy, Elijah. He's our coffee overlord. That's what we call him, caffeine overlord rather. He's up to date with things that change by the wind. He's got connections. I'm just gonna rely on the people that know what to do. So, yeah.
What kind of events and activities do you plan to host in your shop?
Our events, we are very excited about this, and we can't wait to talk about it. We will be hosting a in-person book club here in the new year. TBD on date at this time. We thought we'd be open a little earlier than we are now, but it's definitely going to start in the new year, probably end of January. And we've reached out to our community on what people want to read. We haven't picked anything, so don't worry, but we're still trying to figure that out. At the time, we'll have one in-person book club. I also want to add a virtual option for our folks that aren't local. I am not from the Quad Cities originally. I know. Most of my family is spread out through the Midwest. I have Minnesota, I have Missouri. I got people all over the place and in the Chicagoland area that want to kind of be involved in this project. So we're absolutely going to offer a virtual option. And then eventually we want to add a third option for book club, just a whole different genre for people as well. I think the book club that we'll have in January will be like kind of book talk, kind of trendy stuff that people are kind of into to start. And then the people that are in our book club can vote on the next book, and it'll kind of meld into what we anticipated. We want you guys to pick. I don't want to do that. I want you to pick, and I want to give you what you want. It's about you, not about me. So we'll have book club. I'm also very excited about this. I had someone reach out to me about LGBTQ plus yoga in this space. I am a yoga girl, and when I had an instructor reach out to me and she's like, do you want to do this? I'm like, yeah, 600% I want to do that. So that'll probably happen in the spring. And then I actually stopped by Clock Inc. over in Rock Island yesterday, and we talked about kind of melding some of our programs together in the future. And I can't give you more information on that right now, but we are super excited about that.
What are your long-term goals for the shop, and how do you plan to measure the success?
Success is interesting. For us, this project was specifically just prosper in place for as long as we can. I don't feel the need to grow at this time because I just want to establish a hub in this community, and we're going to do that as best we can. Any gain, like monetary gain, is just that. It's monetary. How I will personally measure success here is based on the feedback I get from our customers. Like if they're like just looking out and seeing the look on people's faces, or like if they're at peace sitting there with their coffee and their book, like that to me will symbolize a win, because I know I've created a comfortable enough space for people to just exist with no strings attached, no expectations. That'll feel good for me.
What kind of legacy do you hope to leave with your bookstore?
Wow. Legacy is a word that frightens me gravely. I never anticipated creating a legacy of any kind. Circling back to the question about growing and how I'm cool with kind of growing laterally in this space, that I'll tie that into this answer as well. I want people to look at the Atlas Collective and like just feel warm. I want it to be a true hub. I want it to be community. So as far as what kind of legacy do I want to lead, I just want people to think of the Atlas Collective and be like, oh yeah, that was such a cool place to be. I felt so happy there. I got so much work done there. I built my business there, blah, blah, blah. And oh, I didn't even mention this. When I was building the Atlas Collective, I was home, but homes can be chaotic too to build things out of. I have 2 very large animals that bark and run. My hounds are just wacky. So I left my house a lot to work other places, and I just want to shout out some of the best third spaces in this community. Like, I sat at Milltown. The amount of hours I spent at Milltown on River Drive, bless those people. I built a lot of my business there. I organized myself there, and I love it. Coffee Apothecary over in Bettendorf, I love that team. I spent a lot of time building there too, and they were super cool, and I love their model. So I went places. I sat at the Moline Library. Love the library. Go to your library. And circling back to Milltown, they have a legacy. They're an incredible organization. They're an incredible shop. I go in there and I'm immediately at peace. And they've created an atmosphere, and I want to do that. I want to create comfort and love. And like I said, when people think about the Atlas Collective, I just want them to immediately just be like, oh, that was just a breath of fresh air.
What advice would you give to someone who is thinking about opening their own book and coffee shop?
I talked to my partner Jordan about this last night. This is one of the hardest questions you gave me, because I started this project at the beginning of 2023. I left my job in December 2022 and then totally switched gears and spent the whole year building this. And I spent so much time being scared and having imposter syndrome and just eating myself alive for that. And my biggest piece of advice to those that want to build something, anything, it doesn't have to be this format, any business, just do it. Just do it scared. Like, that's totally cool. As long as as long as it's forward progress. Every day, before I even had this space, I would sit at home and I would just research, talk to my realtor, look at stuff, just build. My Google Docs is wild. All of my brain dump craziness idea, and a lot of it has changed, but most of it has stayed the same from when I sat down in January, built my business plan, my mission statement. It reflects that even now. So my heart was in the right place from the jump, and I just didn't trust myself. But as I kept moving through the year, I just had to literally sit down and tell myself, you're good, just do it. What's the worst that's gonna happen? Literally, what is the worst that's gonna happen? I'm a very overly critical person, so being able to do this and just kind of put that weight out there, just get it off of me. I'm just gonna do this anyway, even if I'm horrified. I'm just gonna do it because it's to help other people. So if you're thinking about doing something like this, sit down, organize yourself, and then just do it.
What's a fun fact about the shop that nobody else knows about?
I had to ask my team about this one too. I sat and I thought about it and I was like, I don't know. I can't, my bandwidth is low and I have one brain cell. But my team informed me, all the plants that you'll see in the Atlas Collective came from my home and started as a teeny weeny propagation or a 2-leaf plant. I have this 3-year-old Monstera that's in here that started as 2 leaves, and now it's this unit. And I've made 6 different plants off of it, and that's so wild to me. I have a fiddle-leaf fig in the corner behind the shop that started as 2 leaves, 3 leaves maybe, and now I've chopped it in half twice. So yeah, every plant in the Atlas Collective and the propagations I'll sell come from my home. So that's cool.
Lastly, what are you currently reading?
Ooh, I love this. I love this question. I am so embarrassed by my book count this year, y'all. Last year I read, for me, 50 books was a lot of books to read last year. Literally, pat on the back. That was the most I've ever read in a year. This year, we're not there because I've been doing this, but I think I read like 30 books. But right now, I am neck deep into A Darker Shade of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab. We love V.E. Schwab in this family. I'm on the last book, A Conjuring of Light. It is on my shelf. It is down there. Unfortunately, why is it on the last shelf? I don't know. Nothing's permanent. The Atlas Collective. Things change. But it is the third book in that trilogy, and then they just came out with The Fragile Threads of Power that my partner is reading, and I need to get that from him as soon as he's done with that. But he reads like molasses. So I'm on that. It's beautiful world building. It's a fantasy, turmoil. Just I never know what's coming next. And my partner did recommend those 3 books to me. Bravo, Jordan. Thank you for that. That's what I'm reading. But I'm also, I'm a very chaotic reader as well, and this is a really hot take, and people might pick me apart for this. I like to read 3 books at a time, all very different genres and different formats. I know your face looks like that right now. Let me explain. So I like to read a book. I like to listen to a book, and then sometimes the third book could be another audiobook, or it could be a physical book. For example, right now, I am reading A Conjuring of Light physically, but I'm listening to Golden Sun by Pierce Brown in my car right now, which was another recommendation from a lovely friend of mine. However, I read Red Rising quite slowly, and Golden Sun is the second book in, it's up there on my shelf too. There are many. Morning Star, Iron Gold, Dark Age, and then Lightbringer that just came out. I am moving like molasses through Golden Sun. It's heavy content. It's great content, but my brain these days, soup. It's soup. So those are the 2 books that I'm reading right now.
Anyways, that is it for today's video. Let us know in the comment section down below if you will be visiting more local bookstores in 2024. Anyways, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we will see you next time for a new bookish video.